Okay.
I look pale as a motherfucker.
We're starting at the bottom. Okay. My last one. First of all of them are good, objectively.
Okay.
It's just
To some extent, though.
Okay.
I've got this thing about child actors, like when they're kids.
Cheesiness.
That and
It's not their fault.
No, but that's why I can't watch Stranger Things, though.
I can't do it either.
Yeah,
That's not the reason.
Oh,
but-
like trying to be serious?
Yeah. So that's why I can't watch it.
Okay. Well, the worst one, in my opinion, is the first one.
I also have that.
Oh, okay.
So I have Chamber of Secrets.
Okay. So we're.
But I see that because that was mine for a while.
Yeah.
But the Chamber of Secrets has a spider. I love the spider.
Aragog.
No. Well, I
It
think
scared me.
I don't like how the story behind it doesn't affect the future.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
It feels
that's true.
standalone-ish.
The only thing in Chamber of
okay.
Secrets is the book, is the Horcrux. That's the only thing. So
I think that's kind of where the first one falls flat is both the tone is completely different than the rest.
Well, it's supposed to be like that.
Right. This is also me being the person that watched some of the director stuff and behind the scenes. Like, did you ever watch the Daniel Radcliffe and the Stunt Double documentary where the stunt
Yes.
double got
Yeah.
hurt?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they talked about how like the first one, it was like a feeler. So I get that. That's why they casted Dumbledore so old. Because they didn't know they were going to.
Top 5 dumbest casting decisions in my life. In my life. In the history
So
of cinema.
I don't think he's a bad Dumbledore, but longevity, that's not going to work.
And I don't know
Dude,
how
he was-
would've- I don't know how he would have played the new Dumbledore.
He was
'Cause
in-
the new Dumbledore was like, he was in it. So I'm like, you get this old fart up there. It's like, how
Oh,
are you
dude,
gonna
he was
do it?
in the dirt.
Yeah.
Well,
Poor
okay.
guy.
And you know the series that's coming out, they casted John Lithgow.
Yes, which is pretty cool.
I feel like Lithgow is almost catering to that first Dumbledore as a tone.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like it feels closer to that because if you
the
think
guy
of-
was dying.
I really hope they don't make that switch when they do like the third season or whatever. Like not necessarily a different one, but like just like a tone switch. I really hope they don't do that. I hope it's just consistent.
if it's gradual, then okay.
Yeah.
Like
Fast,
if
then
the
True.
events lead to
Gradual's
it being
a good one.
darker, but if it's like the switch up that it was between the two, then I would agree.
Okay, second worst. It was the second one.
Yours
Chamber
was-
Secrets for.
Mine is Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're good there.
yeah.
Carson knows this.
Yeah.
I don't like Order of the Phoenix.
Okay,
That
so
was my
I'll
second
just jump into
worst.
it. That was my third worst.
Yeah.
That's my third worst too.
And
That's 5, right?
Chamber's my third. So our top three.
3 are all the same.
wait,
Yes.
Bottom
so
3.
your second is
My second least favorite is
It's
Order of
5.
the
Oh,
Phoenix,
okay, gotcha.
and then
Oh,
2
okay,
Chamber
gotcha.
Secrets.
So we
is my
all
third.
have 1, 2, and 5 in the bottom 3.
Yes.
Okay, we're good.
well, it's
Okay.
like Order of Phoenix isn't bad, and I get it because it's kind of a setup movie.
That one professor pissed me off. The pink
Umbridge.
one.
Umbridge.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
See, and I kind of get it where it's like starting to the Ministry of Magic is starting to like go downhill. So it's like I said, it's all the setup stuff, which makes then we'll get to later that the later movies are better.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yep.
Number 4 is Deathly Hallows Part 1.
I have Deathly Hallows Part 2.
I have Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Let's go. What?
Yeah.
That music at the end? I mean,
I've got a thing for like movie endings like that. Like it's more my will. I want more.
Okay,
I want
okay.
it to keep going. So.
I will say, like, the third act, the ending act, rather, of Deathly Hallows Part 2 felt like it wasn't drawn out enough. Because you go...
Wait. Okay, go ahead. Never
So,
mind.
like,
I'm caught up.
in defense of Carson, Deathly Hallows Part 2, they have the courtyard battle,
Yeah.
and then they have the part where he just, like, the whole Snape thing happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Then he goes to the forest, dies, comes back, then it's another fight. But the fight between him and Voldemort is short.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Now-
so many ways they could have done it. It's
Now,
just like
don't get me wrong. The scene where Snape dies and they take his tears.
they go back in time.
That's
Oh,
my favorite scene out of all of
of
the
it,
movies.
for
That
sure.
is my favorite one.
Well, it ties everything.
Yes, yeah.
It,
It's
like,
my favorite.
I have a
one.
favorite scene, but I'll chat later.
I guess like what I think I agree with Carson in is I like the tying of events, and so that tying everything together, especially with Lily and all that stuff.
See now, and then I think with like part 1, I feel like they start to make out as Dumbledore is kind of like not as great of a guy as he seems to be.
Yeah.
Which kind of then also then ties into 2 with the Snape scene because you go back and he's like, oh well, you raised him like a pig for slaughter. It's
Yeah.
like, all right.
Yeah.
Like that whiplash of switch up on characters is
Okay. So my number 4 was Deathly Hallows Part 2.
okay.
So, what's your number 4?
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Mine was Prisoner of Azkaban.
So I have a tough take on this. The the people who say that's a top 3 movie, crazy.
Like top 3 movie of what?
Of the like Harry Potter series.
That's my number 3.
I know. That's what I'm gonna get at you for it, because it's like, once again, it's another like transition movie. They're like leaving the kid phase.
Yeah.
And starting to go more into
Yeah.
like,
Which was
I don't want to say
the difference between
adulting.
2 and 3.
Very big.
Insane.
Yeah.
In terms of like growing up.
Well,
yeah.
I think the gap between 2 and 3, and then 3 to 4, both those
Huge.
gaps are huge.
I think one of the biggest gaps is 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Because Goblet does not feel.
I think 5
It's
or
so
6.
intense.
intense.
But,
It's so intense.
Yeah.
Like
Everyone's got long hair.
well, and
True.
he hated it too.
That's weird.
Apparently he hated
That's
it,
weird,
but the
though,
directors
like,
told him to grow his hair out, which I don't know why, but because 5 he had short ass hair. Like, what was the point of that? But
Well, I
mean,
think
it doesn't matter.
I think with Prisoner of Azkaban, first of all, it gets a little wary when you add time travel, which I did like how they did it.
Yep.
I didn't question it when I watched it the first
Well,
time.
Yeah.
I
I
like how
liked
they
it.
like, because it's probably one of those where you sit there and like, well, shouldn't they be able to? Because it's magic. And I like how they did do it.
They did it
because-
okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't a problem.
Well, what I think
Sorry, go ahead.
what I think I really liked is that all the events that they had part in when they time traveled, like there were hints of it as the main time was going.
Yes.
Like it wasn't just out
Yes.
of left field.
It was done very well.
Yeah.
What's your 3rd favorite or 4th favorite? Wait, I don't know where we're at.
Well, we were on Prisoner of Azkaban for 4th favorite.
Okay, so which
3rd favorite.
I said
is
my 3rd was Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
So what's your 3?
Deathly Hallows Part 1.
And mine's part
Is that
2.
the one where they're like kind of naked in the smoke and Ron's get all pissed?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, mine's
The
part
sword in
2.
the lake?
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
Yeah.
Mine's
Same
part,
thing for you?
but part of my weight is the soundtrack.
Very good. And when they're dancing in the tent,
Yes.
that was kind of cool.
So that one is called. It's like
That song is crazy.
I have it saved in a playlist. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, okay.
But in part 2, the music that plays as they're running through the courtyard is called Courtyard Apocalypse. I think. I listen to that a lot for some reason because like you and I have talked about how we listen to soundtrack stuff even in the gym.
Yeah.
So
I listen to soundtracks when I'm moving, but like if I'm at work, I'm not listening to a soundtrack.
No, like if I'm
I need
doing
lyrics.
homework, if I'm doing homework, I need something real.
Yeah, exactly.
Walking to class and stuff.
yeah. Well, and I think also part 2 showing what I liked about it is part of it's in part to Neville, but not everybody that was introduced in movies before was completely useless. Like people actually like showed that they learned stuff at Hogwarts and stuff, and like the events that lead up.
Show.
Yeah, well, different story.
Yeah, that's like a one and done character.
Yeah.
But
I wish
a different time.
I like when characters die, but I wish Cedric lived. I think he'd been dope at like the final battle.
But
So-
I agree, but I think that's what the weight of it is.
Yeah, I know. I understand why
Yeah.
they didn't, but like if like Robert Pattinson in that world is pretty like it makes sense.
See, I think the tough part, and maybe this is me because I agree with you, but I think that seeing him play in the Batman, I think like how good of an actor he was makes it like you want to see more in that. Then
Okay, the fact that we have the same top 2 movies makes me so happy.
Absolutely.
Right? 6 and
Yes.
4, somewhere
Yeah,
around there. Okay,
yes.
so my second favorite is 6. I know yours. That's both your
that's
favorite.
criminal.
Ours,
That is criminal.
then ours is Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
For 2?
Yes.
For both of yours?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, the way they CGI'd that dragon was so impressive to me at that time.
Well, and I remember
That's my favorite scene ever. Also, the dragon on the roof.
Well, and back to the
Oh,
part.
yeah, that's
yep.
a good one.
And back to the part where I'm talking about like soundtrack. The part where Harry comes over the hill with
yeah,
the dragon
yeah.
behind it, and like the.
Where like it's so quiet and all you hear is whoosh, this
Yep.
the burning.
Well, and I think
room.
that was like the first movie that it felt as serious as the rest
Yeah.
of the 4.
What?
Yeah.
The 4th or 6th?
Like number 4, that was the first movie where the tone changed to like
For sure. But then 6 totally flipped even more.
Yeah,
6
well,
was crazy.
Because I think 6 leads into
War.
it's leading into the end, right? So that's like as much as a movie watcher as we are, we don't want to see the end, so we're gonna enjoy the leading up parts.
Right.
Which
It
is
was the
why
beginning of war,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Well, I think we had a good amount of like Goblet of Fire might be the most action out of any of the Harry
That's
Potter
why I like
movies.
it.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
when he
up
took
there.
the egg in the bathtub and listened to that song, that's one of the songs I listen to more than anything else on the soundtrack. That song is amazing.
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, I think the scenes where Moaning Myrtle, like the amount that they
Is that her name?
Yes, the
Moaning?
Well, her name's Myrtle.
Myrtle something, but
they
she's
say
killed.
it in the second movie, but they call her Moaning Myrtle because she's
Moaning.
Right. But then I don't know. I think with Goblet of Fire, it's interesting because it shows more. Granted, all the movies did in some way, but it shows more of like just how wide the tale of Harry Potter like being the boy who lived
Yeah.
goes.
I say it's more than just him.
Just the tournament I just love it. I love that shit.
Okay, that is like a crazy aspect to put into that. Like,
The fact that they take kids at this school and put them in deadly situations.
Wait,
for
wait,
fun.
wait, wait,
but
wait,
even though it's the
Now
fact,
I'm thinking about it.
it's
What the fuck was that?
it's the fact that in years prior there wasn't an age limit, and that Goblet of Fire they finally was it 16, 17?
16, 17. I think
Something
it
like
was
that?
17.
I think it was 17. They put an age limit, and it's like, oh my
Did
god,
you
you
or
could
did you
have
not put your name
first.
in the cup
Oh
of the
wait,
fire?
no. It was 18 because they said he's 17.
No,
I thought.
no, because he is 15, I think, in that movie.
Yes.
Oh.
So it's weird because you think I don't know how this matches up, and I'd have to rewatch it and really pay attention. But the timing of like his age and like if you think of like a typical high schooler, it's a little off. There's something off there. Like he's like maybe young.
It's a
for his
wizardly.
class.
It's a wizardly school.
Yeah, but I think he's young for his class because he's like
I don't know.
his birthday is like right before the school year starts. So it's like okay.
Well,
Dude.
I guess part of the
Gary
weird,
Oldman in the fire.
Yep.
That's why I
Yeah,
also loved
yeah.
it. Did you not to put your name in the cup of the fire?
Well,
I'm
I think
okay.
I also
Oh.
think that's the first time we saw Dumbledore
Be serious.
being that serious.
Yeah.
Like before, he's still kind of like, meh. But then when he comes down and he's like genuinely angry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Yeah, when he walks down the stairs,
That whole scene.
Harry's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Right.
Also, the first scene of the movie when they're camping out and going to that thing with the
Yep.
tents, and then like that skull in the sky. I'm like,
Yep.
this is sick.
The debut of the Death Eaters,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm trying to think.
What was no?
Lucius.
Do you remember the first scene in the movie with the teapot
Yes.
and then going up the stairs?
The caretaker.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Nagini.
Also, the fact that David Tennant was in it. Like, he did really good as the crutch kid.
Slight cameo.
Yep.
I will say, in like, I'll bring back Prisoner of Azkaban when they do the time turner stuff, and they come back, and Harry and Hermione are like, "Oh, we did it, Professor," and then he's like, "Did what?" It's
Yeah.
Knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he totally knows, which is crazy because he's still technically in real time. It's like, and I think him and Malfoy scene in the bathroom too is so.
Oh, and they're beating
and
the shit out
to
of
be
each
honest,
other.
That's one of the
Well,
better
wizardly.
like fight scenes.
No music.
Yeah.
It was with the glass
Yes,
break in the
yeah,
bathroom.
yeah.
Also, it was like not
And it's
gory, but it was
flooding.
like sharp.
No. I'd say gory because I mean you got Malfoy laying there and he's got just blood,
Like,
Yeah, but I'm talking about
lacerated
like
everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the lacerations were insane.
and then you have Snape, which I still maybe don't get. Like Snape rocked up and he's like, I think he realized that Harry used his spell,
Yeah,
and then
That's-
how he knew
yes.
how to help Malfoy in the moment or whatever.
Yeah.
But like didn't say or do anything in the moment, and I think that's more like
well, that's the whole
I'm still
point.
on your side.
That was the
but
whole
I have
point. He
play
just
it
had to
off.
like, yeah.
Right.
No, I like the back and forth with Snape. I think. To be honest, I think Snape's probably one of my favorite characters from the whole series.
So half the reason that 6 is my top 2 is because of the song when he falls from the tower. From
Dumbledore's
Dumbledore.
Farewell.
That song,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yep. Well, and it was one of those points too where it's like in the moment, you know, Malfoy is in a shitty spot. A junior Death Eater.
yeah.
Like, well, still that, and then like how that feeds into, because that was when they were also really started looking and focusing on Horcruxes
When? Which movie?
when Dumbledore
6?
dies.
Yeah.
Six,
I'm gonna say the first one's when they were just hunting them.
Yeah.
What's the movie that they come out of a dragon out of the bank?
Gringotts, that's part one.
That was sick.
Yeah.
Was that the same dragon from Goblet of Fire of Harry's dragon?
They say it is,
So-
but it didn't look like
I
it.
thought.
I think it's the same horntail. Or
Hungarian
It's a
horntail?
horntail, but it's not the same.
type
one.
of dragon, but
Yeah,
not the same
yeah.
dragon. That would have been cool.
And that's the
Although
one
I don't
thing-
remember what happened to the dragon Goblet of Fire, to be honest.
It
It doesn't show.
Okay.
Like he beat it.
fell into the valley under the bridge, and then it was like that was it.
Yeah.
And then we don't see a dragon.
They
until
covered up
part
the
one.
plot holes in that very well.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
don't.
just something you don't
glaze
think
over
about.
it.
yeah.
I wish they would have included not necessarily like dragons, but more like when I think that's where they
Yeah,
went
they
wrong
did-
with Fantastic Beasts.
Oh
Was
yeah.
that which we could have included that, but
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
I feel like in Fantastic Beasts they focus too much on the mythical creatures, where it's like I almost feel like they missed out a little bit on.
I feel like for the
actual-
final battle, there should have been at least one dragon.
I mean, they did have.
They had
the-
trolls.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had the
But like, if Harry came out of a dragon out of the forest, like,
Well, and I think where
make no sense. Or a hippogriff at least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, Hippogriff would be tough.
I want a
That's a great
hippogriff.
idea.
I would have one as a pet.
Well, and I think that's like
Have
you
you-
said, where they almost fall flat. Like they don't really show much of things we know already, and like
Mm-hmm.
not really give an origin because they would have existed beforehand. But like him, like Newt's commander dealing with them, and then I like the tone of it was different, in kind of a bad way for me. I
For
think.
what?
Fantastic Beasts,
Oh, I'm not talking about that shit.
but yeah.
Those are
is
still
not-
like solid movies to see.
They're fun. They're not good.
Yeah.
So your number one is Goblet of Fire.
Yes.
Why?
The tournament, the action. His hair being long somehow made sense. Also, what
In a
Neville.
weird way, I agree.
Yeah, right. The thing that Neville gave him to turn him into like a fish.
Yeah.
That was sick. The underwater and
The gillyweed.
What was the guy that turned into the shark?
Crumb.
Vector Crumb.
Yeah.
Victor Crumb. Guy's fire. The whole dance thing.
Okay, what I
was
don't
cool.
what I don't get though is how he is the best seeker in the world on a professional team, but he's still in school.
Right.
I don't get that.
I don't know where he came from.
No, I don't get that at all.
I didn't really care.
And in a sense, I know that all of Harry Potter obviously focuses on him and Hogwarts, but I wish in some way we heard more about the other schools.
Well, that's why I want the show to do.
Well,
because then the girl from the all girls school ends up with the oldest Weasley kid.
Yes,
I thought she died in
yes.
the woods.
Oh
No,
no.
she ends up in Deathly
She was
Hallows
kind of a
Part
smoke,
2
no?
at the start.
Yeah. Okay.
At Deathly Hallows Part 2 at the start, you find out, oh, she's with the oldest Weasley.
Charlie.
Charlie, yeah.
Oh, when they're riding the fucking whatever, and they all look like Harry Potter.
Well,
that moment?
Oh,
That too.
that's a
That
great
scene was
point.
I guess she
cool.
was in one. Yeah.
That's,
Oh, that was her.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that.
yeah.
So it's like, how'd you. Well, and that's the first time we saw Charlie.
Dude, that maze.
We saw Peter was the oldest one.
Okay, and Goblet of Fire.
Or,
They got the long hair.
no,
The head boy.
the curly hair, the head kid of Gryffindor was the first oldest Weasley
Yes.
we met,
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
than twins.
Yeah.
What were the games? It was the maze, the underwater, the dragon. Is there anything else?
That's it. It was
Yeah, it
three.
was just
Okay.
three.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
trials.
Ease up. What the hell?
Well, I feel like I wish we would have got. I know we did in later movies of Professor Moody, but like, I
one was
wish it
he?
would have had a little more backstory.
Which one was
behind
he?
him.
Was he the werewolf?
So he's the one that
With the fake
That's Lupin,
eye, and he's
Lupin.
got the cane, like a huge
oh,
cane.
well,
He's
he
the-
what? Well,
he's
he,
the
well, he
Auror.
was in the chest.
identity
Yes,
theft.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that actor so
Which
much.
I would
Banshees of
also-
Inisherin.
I would also like to know how Barty Crouch Jr. was able to. I don't know how you'd put it, but like
Well, that's my. Well, that's
like
what I'm
trap,
saying.
Like trap Moody.
The
and
plot
then
holes?
come into him. Like
the
Yeah.
plot holes with that, they did
Yeah.
it so well. Of just-
yeah.
Well, you know what? It's a book. It's hard to get everything in the book in the movie.
Do you prefer the books or the movies? Have you read the books?
I'm not gonna answer that because
You haven't
all
read the
books are better, but I'd rather watch a fucking movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
I'm not reading about Pandora. I'm watching Pandora. Like, what the fuck?
The only thing
I don't know if Avatar's a book, but
this is backwards, but I'm glad I watched the movies first.
I
Because I know
I don't
more
think I
like-
finished the
I don't even
books.
remember the order.
Well, in likely to you, I'm more likely to enjoy the movies than to go back and read all the books.
Absolutely.
I would rather spend the 2.5 hours watching the movie and loving it than spend
Days.
a week.
Yeah,
or
I
two
like
on a
reading,
book.
but like, dude, what? Don't compare them.
Well, and I think, like, you know how you imagine things a certain way?
Yes.
It's nice being able to imagine Hogwarts the way it is based
Very
on the
good.
movies and go back to,
They did better in the game.
yeah.
You also need like fly in the lake and shit.
But
there's
also-
like there's a kraken in the lake or something.
But Karson and I were talking about this too. The inconsistencies
was just thinking about
are
that. I was
so
gonna bring that
bad.
up.
For what?
So the Whomping Willow placement's different between Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban, and then Hagrid's hut.
is like so. In
Is
the,
it really?
In
I didn't
Sorcerer's
pay attention.
Stone, they almost walk out like this. I don't want to call it.
Is
a
it by
gate.
Hogsmeade or
It
no?
almost looks like the
No.
practice Quidditch place, like where they walk
Yes.
out.
I'm just
of.
thinking of the game.
Oh, it's terrible. They walk
really?
out and it's just this flat green space, and his hut's right there. And then you get to Azkaban, and they walk out.
Wait,
the
didn't
side
it light it
bridge.
on fire or something?
That was in.
That was later.
Half Blood.
Oh,
But then, yeah, sorry.
go ahead.
But then in Azkaban, they got to go out the side bridge, go down the hill. all
Well, they had
these
that pumpkin
steps, and
farm.
yes, it's
yes,
like.
with the hippogriff tied up.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I also
I
don't
think,
care.
I think it's one of those where it's like in the first movie, it was just like a trial to see how it did.
What was the guy with the scythe?
he was
the
just the executioner.
Yeah.
Who the hell was that?
I think
Random
a side guy. You know what I mean? You got to kill the
hippogriff thing.
Yeah, hippogriff.
Oh, that sound with all the birds flying away.
Yeah.
The rock being thrown in the window.
Yeah,
and-
it's crazy
Two.
how every
There's two.
movie's vibe is just completely different.
But,
See,
but I like each of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, going back, Order of the Phoenix was one of my least favorites because of, like, it did feel very much like a setup, which is fine because we know that all the movies after that were good.
Or even like the prophecy is like, what? Because let's be real, the prophecy is the main focal point, right? That has nothing to do with the later movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's an advantage. They label it as an advantage that he hasn't had in the past.
Just by chance.
How would that be an advantage to him? I mean, maybe because
What
it's
is
a
Voldemort's
wizard
thinking
world.
of like, hey, I tried to kill his baby, he survived, I'm gonna kill him again, he's gonna die this time.
I think it's
Okay,
one
a
of-
different one.
I think
played
one of the
around-
things is
Yeah,
because
well,
he knows.
No.
Can't really work.
I think he also knows that Harry knows that it's Horcruxes.
And he knows he's like a part of him.
And he knows that
But the
Harry might be like Harry and his people are the only ones that are
But I don't.
willing to hunt them.
But
Did you like the
Voldemort-
ghost scene?
Yeah, obviously.
Like
I
with-
love when they bring
He
back
walks.
his parents.
He walks into the woods and all the
Yeah.
ghosts like talk to him.
oh, the
dead.
Stone of Resurrection or whatever.
No,
Resurrection.
Which
he
is
walks
the
in the
movie- which
woods
movie?
right before his death.
Yeah,
That's
Resurrection.
one.
Yeah,
Stone.
that's the Stone of Resurrection. Yeah.
Oh,
That
there's
he
a
gets
lot
out of
going
the
on.
snitch. Yeah.
Oh yes.
I love when they bring back his parents.
I wanted
I
that
love
light,
every
that
of those
light
parts.
gadget that Ron had. The light one. What was the point of that?
Whatever. Well, they used it to like show him the light, like show him the way. Mm-hmm. Which you
Grow
know,
up.
Dumbledore's thing is like I feel like he knows the future some way or somehow. So
I just wish Harry was more of a Thanos. Like he's kind of
that's criminal.
he didn't do anything besides not die.
I think that's almost like part of the strength in the story, though.
Like I wish
It's
he went like crazy mode and just went nuts.
Well, I think-
at some point
I think part of the whole thing is like
he was just protected the whole time.
no, like there's not a single movie where he could have done all that by himself.
he's very
because
True.
the only
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
the only thing that
He wasn't
made,
aggressive at all.
Yes.
well, the only thing that made him special as a wizard before is that he lived.
Chosen one.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about like actual power. Like
Which technically wasn't even him; it was his mom.
true.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Oh, Marvel movies. Top five
Marvel.
rules.
Okay.
Right.
Which end are we starting?
No, we're doing 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4.
It's not a draft.
Yeah. It's just.
Oh, we just go.
listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
Marvel low key sucks now. So hot take.
This
Not-
is it.
not hot.
That's why I'm grabbing from everything, not just MCU, because MCU sucks.
Yeah. This is like everything.
I don't have really anything with outside of MCU. That's
really good.
But it's because I haven't seen very many.
That's fine. We don't need
fair.
5. Okay, so we'll go 5, 5, 5, and keep going. Okay.
My 5 is the first Deadpool
That almost made my 5 too.
because
That
it
was
makes
almost on my
fun of
list.
everything else.
So the comedy behind it.
That-
Out of all the Deadpools, which is Deadpool one of your favorite?
I would say so.
See, I'm not gonna lie, and this might be a hot take. I'm not a huge fan of the Deadpools.
Okay, so you just say your 5. I'm not dealing with that fucking shit.
Captain America: Civil War.
No, but the action's
Fuck's sakes.
no, the action's good. I will
my
defend that choice
God.
as a 5. Good.
Thank
Like,
God I put it in 5 and not like 2.
Tony suit up was
You
cool.
almost put that in 2?
That's dumb.
Not even close.
It's not dumb.
You think that's the dumb 5?
I can't do Captain America in anything.
It's hardly a Captain America movie.
Yeah, what was...
You're
I
not-
agree,
you're
but why
not
was it
gonna, like-
titled Captain America?
Yeah. But
They should have named
it should be
it
an Avenger
Avengers,
movie.
we have problems or something.
Because it circled
It should
around.
just be Avengers: Civil War.
Yeah.
Avengers,
Yeah.
probably.
I think it's because
But they
it's-
weren't avenging, they were just beefing.
That's why it's a Civil War, though.
I think it's because
That title's cool,
yeah.
Yeah.
but why, it wasn't a Captain America movie.
I think it's because it revolves around self-righteousness.
Okay.
All right, moving on. It was a bad pick.
No. You're
like
in the popularity
you.
there. I just hate Captain America. I can't do it.
I got
He's
you.
too. I like Chris Evans too. It's just the cheesiness. I can't fucking do it.
Well, it was more in the. I don't need to get off topic.
My number 5 is Thor Ragnarok.
Okay, that was fun. That was a fun movie. It was the best Thor movie.
Haven't seen any of the Thors.
Well, don't watch the second one.
I don't know about the best. I just like.
I
the
just
first
I
one.
never hear any good things out of
Thor
them, so-
2 is the worst Marvel movie ever.
I thought
well,
it was Love and War.
that's
I
not
thought
true.
Love and War was the worst.
MCU, it's probably
Ragnarok's
bottom
three.
3.
Yes,
go now.
you're 5.
Okay, my 5. I wish this was kind of higher, but it was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I didn't think animation either.
That's my
love
bad.
the animated ones. Those are so good.
That's valid in your top 5. I didn't even think
I
about those.
totally forgot about them.
I almost put it at like 4.
So I'm definitely out,
Or
I'm
3.
definitely out of the majority here, but I think I'm not a huge Spider-Man guy, so I don't think any of the Spider-Mans are good. I know
you say
you don't
that?
like that. I know you don't like that.
Why'd you say- That's how I get through my shots.
Yeah, he's scared of needles. He's Spider-Man when he's getting shot.
Literally, I was
I
like,
just can't do it. I don't know. I don't know why. I just can't do it. It's tough. It's tough to sit there and watch. But
Yeah.
That's fine.
I get it.
It's fine. Go ahead, Bryce.
He's gonna have 2 Spider-Mans in his next 4.
Not two, but Infinity War.
Number 4.
I like how they lose.
Yeah.
And they're split up.
I like when they lose, but then they just come back and win. What was the point of the first?
That's why I didn't like Endgame as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like Infinity War because
Hey, let's all die. Let's all bring him back. Like, what the fuck was that?
I think that's
What's
why.
the point?
Well, that's why I like Infinity War because then Civil War mattered as for their winning versus losing outcome.
But I also hate Marvel, so all the way through. I'm not a Marvel guy, so that's why
You're
I picked.
weird.
Grow up, superheroes. Come on. If it's not rated R, I'm not
We're
watching it.
ranking the lists.
I know. That's why my next 3 are great.
Okay. What's your 4?
Iron Man 2.
Okay. I thought about putting Iron Man 3
Ew.
Oh,
Ew.
because I like the.
Gwyneth Paltrow
just
is
like
not
all the
surviving that
suits.
fall.
No,
You like
but
all the suits.
she had aim. I also like the House Party Protocol.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
That was sick.
That's
Yeah.
the only good part about that movie, and that's why I think Iron Man 1 and 2 are better than the third one. I think the third one they got carried away. So
I did.
Iron Man
I
2.
do like.
Iron Man 2, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
That's wild.
I have to
I
tell you
would-
guys
Iron-
something.
I have what?
I haven't seen any of the Iron Mans.
You should at least see the first one.
Are you
Beca-
being dead ass?
I'm not kidding.
You know why I think you should see the first one?
How do you
Because
even
that's the
understand
least
anything?
MCU. Because the first one.
Yeah.
How do you?
I do wanna
understand
watch the first
anything
one.
that happens.
Anything in life.
Because Iron Man was just there. I don't know. And then
In a
he
sense, I somewhat understand that because Iron Man is.
I'm ignoring him the rest
He's
of the
the
time.
main character.
Literally the main one.
I just throw that away. Whoa.
Anywho, Vin.
What was yours?
My number 4
Yeah.
is Deadpool 1.
Okay.
Babe.
Okay.
We went over that. already.
That's not.
Also rated R.
My number 4 was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Ooh, that soundtrack is so awesome.
I love the soundtrack.
So my reflection, Deadpool Wolverine. That's the one I'm afraid to rewatch.
Yeah, same.
So, and I was just thinking this. My list overall is just based on rewatchability. I think.
Okay.
Like,
It's not mine, but go ahead.
I just think it's not necessarily the movies I have watched the most, but the ones I could go back to and be like, it's good. I'm gonna rewatch it and enjoy it.
My problem with Deadpool and Wolverine is a lot of people that didn't like Marvel love Deadpool because it's rated R. It's a bunch of wild shit. But Deadpool Wolverine added a lot of Marvel shit, and people were like, "What is this?" Which I understand, but
Well,
it's still cool.
I have this same thing, which sounds weird because I'm about to diss on a Spider-Man movie.
Type
The Spider-Man
Whoa,
movie, if
type
anything.
shit.
Type shit.
But my problem with both Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man No Way Home is once you lose that shock factor of characters coming in and other things,
Why would you watch it again?
right? Like it's fearful to watch it again because it won't feel the same.
No Way Home is crazy to watch again,
yeah.
right? Like
Never seen.
I saw it in theaters. And
you're
then
not
I haven't
Spider-Man
seen
guy.
it
Why would
since.
you?
If you never,
Exactly.
if you,
yeah.
well, you know what happens. If you never watched the old franchises of Spider-Man, it wouldn't matter as much.
Yeah.
And that's kind
It
of my
was very
problem.
comic booky though.
Well, and then we'll get into it later with the whole Spider-Man thing.
Good.
So I
wish it
don't
was
have
higher.
any. So I'll just like leak it. I don't have any of the Deadpools in here, but like they are up there. Like I definitely enjoy them more than most of the MCU ones.
All my movies aren't very Marvel-y, so that's why.
Mine are.
I think.
Okay.
I think
So-
personally, I'm also huge. Like I've grown to be huge on first movies
The
more
series?
than more than
Yes.
anything
Yes.
because
You said Iron Man 2.
well,
Just wait.
with-
My bad.
okay.
Wait for
no,
the
no,
list.
no, no. But the racetrack suit up scene. That's still one of my favorite suit ups with the suitcase.
I love the court. I love the court case in that movie too.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, yeah.
You can't have me. Yeah, I like that part.
Number 3. Yeah. Bryce.
TASM 2.
What was it?
TASM, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That.
The railing scene alone for me.
Three things.
That's
Three
fine.
things.
Oh, here we go.
One,
pick.
as Spider-Man, that is like the
Don't
closest to like
don't talk about the actors. We'll do that
comic
later.
booky spectacle you can get.
Yes.
That's like good. Like the railing scene where he like has one
Yes,
shooter
yeah.
left and then it splits the
Splits,
webs.
yeah.
Two, this does go to
Easy.
Garfield a little bit.
Don't do that. We'll do it later.
Just leak.
Well, I think he does really well at mannerisms behind the mask.
Yes.
Much. All right, too much.
Too much.
Already too much.
Okay. Then I'll go back.
I see what you mean though.
Soundtrack,
I totally-
electro soundtrack.
Yes. I didn't
And
like
it's
Jamie
hot-
Foxx as him though.
No, but it's Hans Zimmer on the soundtrack.
Already a dub.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did that.
Wow.
Type
That
shit.
soundtrack.
Is that the only one he did?
For Marvel?
Yeah.
Maybe. He didn't do Avengers.
I think
I was
so.
gonna say,
But he also did Pirates of the Caribbean. So
Well,
like, he did.
And Interstellar.
That-
Right.
That's gas.
And Skylanders.
Did you
game.
see it? So,
Skylanders is good.
Oh my god.
there was one time when we discovered that.
Yeah.
That he did that. Jared and I listened to it over and over again because we did a game.
So it was my most played song in like 2023.
Well, is it Skylander Giants? My disc doesn't work on my Wii, so I can't play it anymore. So I have to play like the swaps version, and which is fine.
swap
but, like,
force.
yes, but I'm like,
For
if
me-
that Giants was still working, I would not be here.
For
I'd
me,
grind.
for me, the base first one is still the best. The game.
I've never had them.
I maxed out Trigger Happy.
See, I have that character. Though.
Yeah.
But I really like the. Yes.
Hans
did
Zimmer
this.
composed this song.
Oh. Just let it go.
That's so good.
On my way to class, I hammered this song.
Why does this make sense in How to Train Your Dragon?
Why do I want to cry?
Crazy. All right, I get emotional. This is awesome.
Wait till the adventure part. I want to jump around. Why is Hans Zimmer on this?
I feel this in my nerve endings.
It's coming up.
It's only like a minute and some too.
Such a banger.
I could be so depressed. Listen to this and be fine.
It brings back such good memories.
I know.
Like, oh my god.
Makes me want to like buy all everything of this whole franchise.
That'd be fun.
Did you play Skylanders?
My neighbors have it actually. I played it at my neighbor's house. That's about it.
You didn't have
maybe
the
like
Wii.
3 or 4 times.
You didn't have the Wii.
No, I
did
didn't
you?
have a Wii.
That's
yeah.
This might be a
Kinda
hot
sad.
take, but I think the Wii is one of the best consoles.
You're
For
not. You're
sure.
not hot take.
Yeah.
That's not a
That's-
take.
Yeah.
I think
That-
overall, it's like
That and
The best.
Xbox 360 era are the best gaming
see.
console era.
I
Halo
think the
3,
Wii is
shut
just-
the fuck up.
The Wii is just different. I think the Xbox 360 was like
Okay.
I don't want to say a first of its kind, but like that opened up a new portal.
Yeah.
But the Wii was just a one and done, and it was
Well,
the best.
Wii is collaborative warrior.
Yeah.
360 is
Yeah.
split screen warrior. That's just my thing.
Stop
but
screen sheeting.
I back to TASM 2 just for one point.
No, you have to go back. Was it number 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Gwen dying. One of the best part, like the best part of the movie.
Her
not
neck
be-
snapped in half.
not
Yeah.
because of,
It was 2014.
I know at this point.
but like, not because I hated her. I loved her as a character, but like that death, and then
Cheesy.
Emma Stone was good.
the whole like tone around it.
What?
No, continue.
You don't like Spider-Man's though.
What did
No,
you
no,
just
no.
say?
I don't like Emma Stone. So I'm sorry about La La
That's
Land,
crazy.
but like,
La La Land is so good though.
hey, hey.
It's one of my favorite movies.
So
Cruella?
I'm not basing off of like attractiveness. She's
are you basing your decision off of Easy A? I get that vibe.
He
Have
hasn't
you
seen that. He hasn't seen that movie.
No. Well, either way,
Crazy Stupid Love.
I've seen clips. I have seen clips. I have
Funny
seen clips.
movie, dude.
the whole bit where
So sorry, Emma Stone, if you see this.
Peter's like, the whole bit where Peter's like, Gwen. And then the soundtrack that plays after that, after she dies. I love it. Gives me chills.
Okay, number 3.
I don't know if this is gonna be a little low, but it is Winter Soldier, Captain America.
So, for the Marvel world, that's like their top 2 movies for Marvel. So
Like
you're not wrong
MCU.
there. Yes, I
I
can't
didn't know.
stand it, but
I was sitting there and I'm like, my other two. It's more of a personal where I obviously would prefer the other two, but like, it's up there though. Regardless of everything combined, it is such a solid movie.
It's the fight choreography.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm just a film freak and I can't do Marvel, but I get it.
yeah, I get that.
My number 3 is the first Iron Man.
That's good.
Fire. Doesn't seem like Marvel-y.
Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. That's all.
Yeah, so Jeff Bridges was good in that movie.
Yep. Obadiah Stane.
Obadiah's.
My number 3 is Logan.
Hum, babe.
That's good.
That's a good pick.
But based on my list, 3.
Yeah, I agree. I also have it higher, but
Yeah.
number 2.
Almost.
Mine is Winter Soldier.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Now here 2 reasons. 1, choreography. 2, it's not so spectacle-y.
yes.
It's
Yes.
Okay.
more grounded.
Yes.
Dude, Scarlett Johansson in that movie.
And it's not
Yeah.
it's not like a ton of like horse shit either. Like it's not probable, right? Still superhero-y, but we're not like in fucking left field.
Okay.
Right.
Right? You know what I
gotcha.
mean?
Well, and I think it's cool because, for example, this is a super cheesy way of looking at it. But say one of us ended up being the Winter Soldier, and we ended up being a fight as Captain America versus Winter Soldier. Those fights would be sick.
Griffin would be Bucky.
Well, you got the hair for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You should have to dye it black.
I just got to chop off my arm.
I was gonna say you might have to lose an arm, but like,
Is it the right or left arm?
We can do that right now.
Is
No,
this-
it's right
the
or
left.
left arm.
I thought it was his left.
They fuck it up in movies though.
Do they?
Well, I
actually?
think
Yes.
okay. What I think
Um,
happens is they
my next
reflect,
pick.
they mirror the image on
And
it.
that's the problem. Like
Yeah.
you got to stay consistent with that.
Marvel doesn't stay consistent.
No.
Really?
So then for my no, sorry.
Oh, was your 2?
Second.
Yeah, that was my second.
You're
So
number
then
2.
I'm gonna go into left field here. No one's gonna have it. Black Panther.
That was
I
good.
I
love-
low-key, I
made
low-key
my
forgot,
list.
so you're good.
Love Black
That
Panther.
almost made my
That
list.
almost was my number 1.
I don't like Michael B. Jordan though. That's my just
Really?
not-
I'm
I
excited
think
for
he's
his
not
new
a good
movie.
actor.
So-
I'm excited
Not
for
much.
his
Sinners.
new movie.
Apparently it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
My thing is, I don't mind him as an actor.
He's
He
a good
just
looking
he
guy.
just
though.
like the duality of like him growing up in the Bronx versus T'Challa warrior, like royalty, like that. Those dialogues feel weird sometimes.
They were weird.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, my number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Damn it! I should
You
have.
both put it down.
I should have
Okay.
put Guardians on there.
You didn't put any Guardians on there? That
I don't
soundtrack is
like the
phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
the
don't like
soundtrack
those.
is good.
I don't like. I think I watched the first and second one. I was done after
Dude,
that.
we
I
saw
just
it-
got sick of it. I think like Chris Pratt. I just kind of got sick of him.
You like Chris Pratt?
I'm not saying I don't like him. I just don't think
Parks and Rec is really
Marvel.
different.
I don't think Marvel is really his scene. Like
But if there's
But you're
anywhere
wrong,
in
you know?
if there's anywhere
can
in
see
Marvel where
that.
he gets put,
you fuck.
if there's anywhere in Marvel where he gets put, that's where he belongs. Because
I think of the comedy aspect.
we saw
Okay.
Guardians 3 in theaters. I think all 3 of us were crying.
I wasn't
Yeah.
crying,
I
but
haven't
I
seen it.
could have, but I wasn't.
I haven't seen
At
it.
least I was.
I think I
I
was.
don't really care.
Shed a
Guardians
couple
of
tears.
Guardians
I
is
think I was.
good. What was
Yeah.
what? Toothless? What was it? Wait.
Teeth.
Teeth.
My
My
teeth are
name is
more
Teeth.
prominent.
Since I'm from How to
Okay, so my number 2, Guardians 1 is good, but I put Guardians 3. as my
That's
number
fine.
2.
That's I get it. But Guardians won't start it at
Just-
all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I get it.
on the Guardians kick, Guardians 2 wasn't bad, but it was a bridge movie,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yes. It was like a solo. Go find your dad. Like the fuck.
But like Guardians 3, that was sad.
But Guardians when he held a fucking stone.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's sick. And Ronan was cool.
I'm distracting you, little turd blossom.
Yeah. Okay, number 1.
Dance off.
Logan.
Really?
Whoa.
I love Logan.
I can't believe you just said that.
I loved it back then.
Because you're a Marvel
That's
fuck.
got to be a.
I think you're putting
that's
Infinity
gotta
War
be a
Endgame in
slight
there.
hot
crazy
take.
for
I-
Bryce to say.
I put Infinity
go
War
ahead.
at 4.
Go ahead. Carson, go.
Iron
through.
Man 1.
My number 1's Logan too.
Oh. Really?
Wow.
I'm so happy you said
What was
it.
yours?
Infinity War is my number 1.
Okay, that's the best
That's
Avengers
common.
to put there.
That's
Dude,
yeah.
Logan isn't a Marvel movie. It's about a guy taking care of an old guy in the dirt.
I know,
like-
but
yeah.
as a number 1 though.
It's so
I
my-
get a top 5.
my
And
thing.
I
rated
slightly
R,
regret it.
8-1. It's
I
so good.
slightly regret it maybe not being in my top 5. Like the only one
It's
is
sad. Daphne Keenan's phenomenal.
it's probably I would probably replace if I had to go back replace it with Civil War, but Civil War is pretty much up there too.
No, I get it.
But
You like the team up
I love
Captain
Iron
America.
Man.
Avengers,
Iron Man's my favorite.
superhero.
I would
thing.
agree.
I'm
He's-
kind of surprised I didn't put all 3 in there.
I'm glad. Yeah, wait, I
But-
think Iron Man 1 and 3. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is good in that too.
Iron Man is like
What's
my
your number
favorite
1?
MCU hero.
Yeah, I think
Infinity
that's
War.
the best.
Oh, you said
build-up,
that, yeah.
too.
I said that.
Well, he has the best, my opinion. I think he has the best character development, and that's the
He's
point.
fucking badass.
Well, like he starts off like,
He's still like that though.
yeah, I know, but at the end,
billionaire playboy.
I like Iron Man 3 a lot sometimes, but like also Gwyneth Paltrow should have died. But either way,
with her vagina
With-
candle.
Yeah.
You ever hear about
And her
that?
pillow. Her new sex pillow. Yeah.
I think the story of Iron Man 3 is pretty good. I just think more of like towards the end where it's like,
Continue.
his 50 suits coming in was sick. Also,
Yeah,
why did
the house
fucking
party.
Guy Pearce play that role?
Yeah, I don't
he
know.
did fine, but it's just like random.
Well, I was gonna explain my Logan. Part of why I like it so much, one, gore, which is kind of why I like Deadpool 2. Well, it's like you're superheroes. You're gonna tell me you can't tear someone like a normal person apart?
Well, also like he's
He's
hacking along.
He's brutish. It's Hugh Jackman's roar. Like what? Being serious and also not being afraid to kill people off. That's one thing that sucks about MCU. I think is like people should have died in some places.
Charles dead.
Well-
Wolverine dead.
How Charles died?
So that's my problem with the MCU is like they just got too kiddish. I say it all the time. So it's like you can't do something like that, otherwise it's not family.
Well, I love Logan because you don't need to see any other movie before that and can still watch that.
That's a
in
good
every
point.
time.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point, too.
my big thing with MCU, this is a tangent, that it happened like right before Endgame and after is power scaling, and it's why I don't like DC with Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
You get people that are super.
Well, that's why people don't like Avengers because of fucking Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, and then you have a fucking
Right.
Thanos. It's like, all right,
Yeah, so it's like
Or Hawkeye.
yeah, same
Right.
thing.
Like, really?
A human, yeah, a bow and arrow.
right.
All right,
Yeah, so that's my thing, especially with like adding Captain Marvel, and I don't know if you guys have seen the Thunderbolts trailer, but
Yeah.
Sentry, he's basically Marvel Superman.
is that
with-
rated R or no?
No,
Then fuck that movie.
but it's.
It didn't come out yet. I'm already mad.
I think they're chasing Winter Soldier tone,
Grow up.
but
Well,
it's
maybe
like
it won't be too bad then.
I still want to see it.
Everyone,
characters,
everyone in the
alright.
Thunderbolts are like rated R vibes.
Yeah.
But they're,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's why it's like, whatever. Okay. Who is the best Spider-Man actor or character? Either or.
Which I know
Same
we're
thing.
starting playing every.
Yeah, you're
So
going
I
to talk
think-
about
I think-
like
We start with Griffin when he gets back. And
Oh, where'd he go?
Work our way to the genius, I think. Then.
Oh well, I'm just a yapper.
My favorite Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield.
Same.
Well, I just said that.
I know. I was surprised you said that.
That's
You
crazy.
too?
Yes.
That's
Oh my
crazy
God.
because I said
Well,
the
no.
same.
No way. We all think Garfield's the
So
best.
hear me out.
That's not
Yes.
common.
But Tom Holland is the best Peter Parker.
I'm gonna say this. Okay, I got this. Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yep.
Tom Holland is the best Peter Parker.
Yep.
Yes.
But Tobey Maguire's storyline is the best.
I was just like
Yes.
best suit. I think
no,
I-
no,
I-
no, no.
I think Garfield has the best suit.
Well,
I love-
Holland does, but it's not fair. He's got Tony.
No,
I don't
that's
think
not
it's
even
No.
Spider-Man
Okay.
anymore.
He has spider legs out of
That's
his
not
back.
Spider-Man anymore.
And
Yeah, okay. Well, I get
That's not
it.
Spider-Man.
one
On his
okay.
own.
Tom Holland's best suit is the one briefly seen at the end of No Way Home, because it's a real suit, not a tech suit.
yeah.
But I love Toby's suit. One, the emblem. Two, the eyes.
And the way he draws it is cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. The way that he like creates it too. I like
Yes.
Maguire's suit the best.
So for me, Maguire's suit, Garfield Spider-Man, Holland's Peter Parker.
Now,
Like you said in the last 2 points.
I think Garfield for all three, but also I think Garfield's just easily the best actor out of the three. It's not even close.
So I think acting wise, yes, but I'm not a huge fan of the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I will back him up in the sense though that
He's 5'7".
because his appearance makes him look younger. That's why I think his high school Peter Parker looks very accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, but apart from that, he's dog shit. So.
Well, I think Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man or Peter Parker is very. Granted, I haven't read much of the comics, but in line with like the kiddish aspect. Because like even though all of them are high school, technically, which one?
Toby does not look like in high school. That was bad.
But like Tom Holland Spider-Man, he's got all this. He's got the super strength and the power and the senses, right? But he's still like joking and kiddish with it all. Granted, Garfield still is in the first one, where he stops his first robber and he goes, achoo, and like that whole bit. But
What a way to describe it.
I don't know. I think they wrote Garfield's Peter Parker as being too like mysterious. in a sense.
I like Garfield's Peter Parker because he always looked like he was sweating in a rush and having a bad day. Also, when he's in his suit, he was 5'10". It looked taller.
Yeah.
And the lengthy Spider-Man
Garfield?
looked cool to me.
Yeah. Well, I think that's accurate. Like he's supposed to be lengthy.
Also,
and
when he was
scrawny.
fighting, he wasn't really talking much sometimes. It was kind of dark. I was kind of down for that.
I was just thought of the Maguire one where they used the mannequin when he's swinging through the buildings. I sit there and go, oh my gosh.
Well, it's one of those things too where it's like sometimes I wish I could take those movies and have them written very similarly,
nowadays.
but have more modern effects or like methods.
Yeah.
Like imagine if James Cameron showed his methods and how to make the Spider-Man. Like
I almost
like
think
similar
it's
type stuff
unfair.
like that.
It's almost unfair. It's
Yeah.
It is
I don't
unfair.
mean to bring up sports, but like it's almost like the LeBron and
MJ.
Jordan
or
debate,
or
it's
any
like,
past present sports. Yeah.
It's like it's totally different.
Yeah,
And if you did it
evolution and shit.
nowadays,
Yeah.
it's-
Well, I was gonna bring up. Have you seen the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the first one recently?
maybe not super
It's,
recent.
it's the
but
worst
it's been
fucking
a
movie
while.
ever.
I would say
Yeah.
probably don't.
It's
watch
so
it.
bad. It's not their fault either.
No,
it's just
how it is.
Yeah.
You know what also I think is weird? They made a trilogy in 4 to 5 years.
that's how it used to be.
Yeah, I know.
Lord of the
It's,
Rings,
it's
too.
not anywhere near that anymore because
Well,
they
what?
take
Yeah.
so long.
Well,
Now,
actors
I'm
do
not
different
gonna use.
shit.
I'm not going to use like Into the Spider-Verse universe because they animate all that. That
Use the
takes time.
Batman. The Batman.
Are you want me to choose that?
Dude, I fucking love.
I don't know.
But
yeah,
I get what you mean,
I
though.
agree with all of your picks about Andrew being the best Spider-Man.
I think Holland's a very good. I think
Very
Hol-
similar takes on it.
I think if you
I know it's kind
everything.
of boring.
I
Whatever.
think the unfortunate part is if you took Holland out of MCU and made his own thing and kept the tone of who he was and then the evolution of him getting darker or like more serious, then it'd be fine.
I think Holland's a very good actor. It's just some of the stuff he does is just
Well, and even then, it's
Like Uncharted?
in the MCU. I don't know
That's
that
bad, yeah.
that he has like a super big role.
I just don't like that his debut was Civil War. I think it should have been him.
Okay. Also, I just saw this on a reel. Do we consider Spider-Man as an Avenger?
I think there's a gray area even in the comics with it
oh really?
Yeah.
because he's almost like I don't know if you probably know this. Every fight he's in, he holds back because there's several points where even he like
Grow a pair.
no, there's even points because so the thing with Kingpin is a huge villain of Spider-Man in the comics,
Okay.
but Kingpin even has some sort of super strength as we've seen in Daredevil.
He's just
Like
a
he
big
can
dude.
he can bitch slap somebody and they fly across the room, and it's just because he's an angry big guy.
Me too.
But there's times where like Spider-Man will one punch near death him, and he's still holding back.
I don't
Grow
like
up.
that because I
It's-
don't like that take. Not take, but I don't like that aspect because you look at Tom Holland. He's like I'm bigger than him.
Right.
Like he's
How tall are you?
5'10".
So it's one of the things. I remember like on my driver's license it says I'm 150.
I'm 150 right now.
I am. What?
How are
You're
you?
taller
Are
than
you
me.
6'1"?
Yeah.
Damn, maybe I'm just
Damn, dude.
fat.
No, I don't eat.
You just not.
fat,
Yeah.
I'm fat,
I was gonna say.
No, you're
I'm
not.
Just takes
I'm
Zins.
5'10",
He doesn't
190.
eat.
Come on now.
He eats
You're not
one
fat.
meal a day.
I had 1 million.
I'll say, and your one
That's
meal,
crazy.
and your one meal is Taco Bell. So that's fine.
I mean, if that's what it takes
Do
to
I
get me
Taco
back
Bell?
down again.
I do want Taco Bell.
Okay.
5-layer burrito. Oh.
Well, and then Griffin here, he's genetically just probably Greek descent.
I have a lot of questions. We're just gonna ignore it. But either way, we doing Spider-Man. We're doing Batman now. Favorite Batmans.
Favorite Batmans.
Actors or
Similar to
characters.
Spider-Man. Who wants to start?
Okay, mine might be semi.
If you say Clooney, you're leaving.
oh no, nothing pre this century. I'm choosing.
Okay.
I will say Bale,
As
But
what,
that-
though?
He's the
As
best
what,
Bruce
though?
Banner. Or
but Bruce Wayne.
that's not.
That's Hulk. That's Hulk.
Look at that.
That's Hulk. But that's why I chose Bale because he's the best
Bruce
Wayne. Right now. Right now. I think the difference is in Pattinson. Sorry, you go. Before I yap, you go.
Actually.
So this whatever.
No, spit it.
I think Affleck's a
Spit it
really
out.
good Bruce Wayne.
So what's your favorite Batman?
That's not a.
Pattinson.
See,
Fuck yeah, dude.
But because I like the mysterious part, but I think if
Forensics.
if you
Yeah.
Eye
break,
makeup.
if
Yeah, I
you
like
break
that
it
part of it.
down, I think okay, hear me out. Affleck's the best Bruce Wayne, Pattinson's the best Batman, but Bale is the best overall.
Like
I'd
the
say.
rounded
Yeah, plays
approach.
both parts. It's good.
I think it's
Now-
because of Nolan, not because of him.
Well, I'd
But go
say
ahead.
it helps with the storyline too. You know, he's had 3 movies with 3 different villains, so it's like we haven't seen that out of Pattinson yet. Which
Let's wait.
yeah, I'd say we can get
But
into
still.
that later. But I think I've only seen one Affleck, and it was so good. I feel like his Bruce Wayne was just
You're talking about like when he meets Flash.
yes. Yeah. I
Who's
love
your
that.
favorite Batman?
Pattinson.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think
Not
that's
a common
gimme,
take.
though.
Also, a lot of people like Bale
No.
more.
Yeah.
I see that though. I really do like Bale. Like I really like all 3 of those movies. There's not one of those movies I wouldn't watch. Like,
Yeah. Well,
but I'm gonna watch the Batman more than the Bale movies.
dude,
I
Pattinson
would
with
agree
like
with you.
how he's so pale because he never sees the day is cool. His actual makeup, because Bale has makeup when
Yeah.
he's in the suit, but when he takes it off, there's no makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Pisses me
That's
off.
continuity.
a great
That's
point.
continuity.
That's a great
That
point.
pisses
right
me
there.
off.
Yeah.
To me, that's continuity.
Because
Still,
we've
push me off.
seen him because, okay, it's not a spoiler because it's way past the time.
Mm-hmm.
When he brings Rachel back into the Batcave, he takes off the mask and he doesn't have makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great point that you make there.
But when you see him, he has makeup
yes,
on.
yeah.
But like Pattinson with his like dripping,
Yeah.
he's just a psycho for crime.
So good.
The vibe, awesome.
I'm going to watch that this week.
Well,
for
for-
sure.
Good for you.
You look like you have something to say. What are you gonna say? Nothing, or something?
Say
Yeah,
something.
nothing.
Say something.
I don't know.
So my take is I agree with Karson that Bale is most well rounded, and I think for
He's
there to-
he's the best actor out of all of them.
Dude, Christian
Talent-wise.
Bale.
Okay.
I know, a little off topic, such a good actor.
Yeah.
Ford
He's
v
crazy. He
Ferrari.
can
Prestige.
I'm not gonna. Okay, Ford vs Ferrari is probably one of my favorite
Machinist,
movies
The
of all
Fighter.
time.
Yes, yeah.
But I
He's my
will
favorite
say,
actor ever.
Bale is an amazing actor. But when it comes to the role, I think Pattinson does better. But
Is that the writing though, or is it him?
well, and so I like directorially put that aside. Okay, so the continuity with the makeup, all that stuff, because that's director, that's not actor, right? That's just
Well,
me.
no, we're talking actors and characters.
Okay, well, here's my thing: actor, character, whatever. There's a part of like
Yes, that's
Batman
where they come in.
when it comes to Bale. I think it is important to have a good Bruce Wayne because that's what throws everyone off. But when you have recluse, now granted, Pattinson is in junior years of Batman. He's new.
So
He's like
I don't mean to stop you, but like in
You mean to.
in the comic sense though, he's really not.
Well, I mean, okay, so I guess where
Right?
I guess
Like-
where I gathered that Pattinson Batman is new is because he can't balance Bruce Wayne and Batman yet.
Okay.
I hope he never does.
But that won't happen.
That's what made the first movie so good.
Yeah, no.
I agree
And well,
because
Nirvana.
well, and the like what Jared said. Well, and like what Jared said, the focus on investigative that's important, and they don't show that in Bale.
That's in
as
the
much.
Arkham video games. That's why I love it.
Right, and I agree with that, and that's why I think he's better as like solely Batman,
Okay,
but
I get it.
well-rounded.
Because you like the
Carson.
Playboy Bruce Wayne.
Yes, but like well-rounded, like Carson. Part of throwing everyone off that he's not Batman is Playboy Bruce Wayne, and you need that.
Yeah.
In the Batman, they're like, oh, Bruce Wayne hasn't been seen, blah blah blah. Like
That's fire. That's so cool to me.
Seeing him out for the first time in
Pale
ages at the
white.
funeral.
Yes.
He looked like Twilight Vampire.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
See, and
So-
I think like the supporting cast too. You know, as Alfred. I mean, you sit there between the two of them and you go, "Holy shit, this is a toss-up," because they were really both of them were super good in the long run. And then you have
Colin Farrell.
yes,
Yes.
well, and then you have
Zoe Kravitz is good.
Anne Hathaway as Catwoman.
Well,
right?
she's different. That's different.
But then you go to it's
Zoe Kravitz.
yes, Zoe Kravitz. It's like, damn, that's a
Yeah.
toss up too. Like, holy
Aside from the whole
They're
drama,
both
there,
were good.
yes,
Aside from the whole drama there with Pattinson dating her mom or something weird.
What? Are we gonna get a Poison Ivy in the next Batman?
please no.
My thing
That would
is
make sense. but-
we Jared, you and
Uma
I have talked.
Thurman.
You and I have talked about this
We
before.
can't say that. We gotta save it.
No, we're doing it now. Fuck it. We gotta move on.
We're gonna talk about it now.
We gotta move on. Yeah.
Well,
okay, who do we think the next villain is?
Is it gonna be human or alien?
That's
That's the question.
That was my segment into what you and I talked about before. Is this version of Batman is so grounded? How do they go forward? With
Like mob
villains?
shit.
Like
Okay, I say we just all throw out a guess and then we'll just go from there.
so. Well,
so
so
if it's a
we
Killer Croc, it'll make
think-
no sense, but that shit's fire.
I
and,
think
and
Killer Croc would be
Clayface
cool.
and Clayface.
Fuck
Clayface.
Clayface.
But we've also mentioned before.
Clayface is only for the Lego Batman game.
That's
Yeah.
true. But we've
I actually changed my answer. Lego Batman is the best Batman.
Dude,
I
real.
love
I bought that game. We can play it right now if we wanted to.
I think we were both on the same page on this, where it's like we don't want it to be crazy superhero-y.
No, what do you want it to be
No.
and what do you think it's actually going to be? Go.
With what we saw with the adrenaline at the end of the
Bane?
Batman,
Yeah.
Bane has to be somewhere
Okay, so
because that is Bane. That like that's what he runs on.
You go.
Yeah.
do you think it's going to be Bane or do you want it to be Bane?
I want if there's a Bane, I
Answer
don't.
the
I
question.
don't. I don't. Okay, personally, this is my answer. This is my answer. No, because I don't like them.
Who do you want to be
I
in the
know-
next
I
Batman
totally know
villain
what you're
and who
gonna
do you
say.
think it's
Okay,
going to be?
do
I
I
have an
say it?
answer. If
I
you
don't
me
want them to
answer it.
copy a villain
Yes.
from
Okay.
Bale.
So we don't want. So we don't want.
You don't want duplicate villains. I
Yes,
understand
We
that.
don't want duplicates. Now, I looked it up just now.
Wait, there's an
And-
answer?
Not an
Rumor,
answer,
rumor.
but the speculation.
Okay.
Harvey Dent's coming back.
That would make the most sense.
But I don't want that. I don't.
Okay, so
I
what do you
don't
want?
it.
What do you want?
What do you want?
So you think Harvey Dent? What do you
I think
want?
Killer Croc would be sick, but I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I know.
So
But
go ahead. There you go.
2 things.
No,
City-
give me an it.
City flooded, penguins in the sewer, like the underground tunnels.
So-
Killer
They got
Croc,
blown up though.
I'm gonna reject.
Well, it was
that.
afterwards, never mind.
I don't want to be rude. I'm gonna reject that because they had the show, so he's above ground. We already know he's all right.
Yeah.
Like I know he was working in the
I
sewers.
mean, he got
but-
limp, but he's fine.
Yeah.
Who do you want, and who do you think?
I can tell you who I don't want because I can't.
No, that's good. That's good.
Like if I
That's
tell you
good.
who I want,
Yeah.
I don't feel educated enough to know all the villains. I don't want Joker yet.
Okay,
I don't want Bane,
okay,
and I don't want Clayface.
okay,
And I'm iffy about Killer Croc
okay.
because I don't know how you do that and make it not look like spectacle.
I think it's going to be Bane, but I want Killer Croc.
But then who would you
Yeah,
cast as
same way.
Bane?
Okay, and I was
That's
thinking
the
of that.
thing. I don't care.
Who tops
You
Hardy?
can't say that because Tom Hardy did it so well that it's like
Yeah,
don't
but-
redo it. Just
You
leave
merely
it how it
Also,
was.
there's no way Joker isn't in this next one.
No,
But I don't want it
not
to
at
be.
all.
I
Barry
don't-
was in the prison.
But I don't want
asylum.
timeline that doesn't make sense.
If anything, I don't want him to be the main villain because having
So
him
both
in-
my answers were lies. I don't know why I said those. 'Cause
But
I don't want any of those.
I don't think that the Joker can't be the main villain. I think
I don't think so
because
either.
Heath Ledger played such a great Joker, and then even looking into like the Joaquin Phoenix
Mr.
Jokers,
Freeze.
that's the least probable. one.
Oh, for sure.
That's the least probable.
That's what I
one.
was hoping. I know Bane and what's the other one?
Joker.
Killer Croc.
Joker are possible. Yeah, Killer Croc and Mr. Freeze
It's Killing
are the ones
Murphy.
that I would want. But that
Scarecrow?
Scarecrow
That would make
would be
kind of
cool.
sense.
But
what,
just-
what is it going to be?
that makes
I
Well,
think that's the beauty of it.
That's
though.
what's hard. Like I'd almost rather them
I hope
blow
they
the
don't
roll.
say anything.
I'd rather them blow the roll out of the water if it's a villain we've seen before and us not know who it is really.
I hope they don't say anything. I hope they release the movie. They have the
Okay.
trailer, but they don't show the
Final,
villain.
final answers. Who do you think the next villain's going to be?
Killer Croc.
Okay.
Yeah, Killer Croc.
You too? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a timeline.
I also heard rumors of that. So.
That's
Don't
a
know how
timeline
they're gonna do
opinion,
it.
though.
Still,
Bryce, go.
I think the most probable is Killer Croc because that would be the segue into more mystical, fantastical things.
Okay. I low-key think it's going to be the Joker. That's the only thing they hinted besides Bane's shit.
That's a good point. Who played the Joker at the end of
Barry
Barry
Kogan.
Kogan.
Sabrina Carpenter's ex-boyfriend.
Well, there are 2 choices of villains that I forgot about until I looked this up. Okay. One is Hugo Strange, and he's an old Arkham Asylum character.
Yes.
Okay. So that's possible. Well, it was the whole rumor of like Batman 2 picking up right after Penguin.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's supposed to.
I would love that.
So,
Well,
and
I mean, that one. It just shows how legendary this motherfucker is. Yeah.
well, personally, I like the congruent timeline of like,
With the flood.
yeah, but not like a paralleled thing where like the Batman has stuff going on that's like a pivotal second story to like while Penguin's going on. I kind of don't want that.
well, I do appreciate that they don't have the Batman in the Penguin. Mm-hmm. Like, I like how he's only referenced a couple times. Only a couple times.
Yeah, as a
too.
fucking dude.
But-
Not even by name. It's
yes,
like
yes.
Like
news.
Voldemort.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he never makes an appearance. I love that because it's
Oh, it's so awesome.
Then we're not focused on the bat. We are focused on the Penguin, everything going on. So I love that. I appreciate that.
Well, and
I think that writing was great.
I like how the fear of the Batman is almost an afterthought because he's new.
Yes. Newer.
Becoming something, yeah.